And I met Kate, and she was fantastic. She was fantastic.
He doesn't chase fame. He doesn't follow hype. Cameron chooses actors like he engineers submarines, precise, unshakable, and built for pressure. Once he sees what he needs, he doesn't look twice.
Leo came in, of course, charmed everybody, myself included.
For over 40 years, Cameron has pushed the limits of what cinema can do, underwater, in space, in worlds we've never seen before. But none of it works unless one thing clicks first, the face at the center of the chaos. One actor, one presence, the one who holds the line. He doesn't work with luck, he works with inevitability. The Terminator, Aliens, Titanic, Avatar. Cameron doesn't just cast a lead, he builds around them. When it works, it launches careers. When it doesn't, he never forgets. And when one actor earns his trust, the spectacle fades. All that's left is someone who belongs in legend. He's worked with dozens, but only a handful walked through the fire and came out part of his legacy. The ones who gave him everything and reshaped what we expect from a performance. Here are the 6 actors James Cameron never lets go of, across decades, across genres, across worlds, and why no one else could ever take their place. Number 1. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Some directors cast actors. Cameron built a machine. Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't just a star, he became the engine that powered Cameron's rise. From the Terminator to True Lies, their dynamic wasn't built on comfort, it was built on precision, on pressure, on discipline. Arnold once said, "When Jim calls, I don't ask what it is, I just clear the calendar." That's not exaggeration, that's a code. For over 30 years, James Cameron has trusted Schwarzenegger with the most demanding roles of his career, roles that had to work or the movie didn't exist. And Arnold never flinched. On the set of Terminator 2, Cameron would reportedly push the technical limits of the shoot while barely giving direction to Arnold, just marks, movement, and stillness. Cameron didn't need explanations, he needed presence.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
Later, when they teamed up again for True Lies, Cameron said, "People don't understand how funny Arnold really is. He can hit a punchline like a pro." But it wasn't just about humor or hardware, it was trust. Cameron knew Arnold could carry the weight of entire concepts, robots, super soldiers, secret agents, without blinking. Their chemistry didn't come from shared background, it came from friction. Cameron pushed, Arnold delivered, again and again and again. Other actors bring emotion. Arnold brought scale, presence, myth. There's a reason Cameron kept calling him back, not just because Arnold looked the part, but because he became the part, down to the last calibrated stare. Schwarzenegger never tried to become something he wasn't. He just made who he was impossible to ignore. That's the secret: control, clarity, and power. Cameron gave him the blueprint, and Arnold built the legend. And Cameron? He gave him something actors rarely get: permanence. This wasn't just collaboration, it was cinematic engineering. And when they locked in, they created the future, frame by frame. Number 2. Sigourney Weaver. Some actors wait to be written into history. Sigourney Weaver kicked the door in. Before Aliens, she wasn't a box office name, she wasn't a genre icon. But James Cameron saw something in her that the studio didn't: stillness, command, and something dangerously close to fury. Weaver once said, "Jim didn't just direct me, he unleashed me." This wasn't just a sequel, it was war. The studio didn't want to bring Ripley back. Cameron refused to make the movie without her. That's how deep the trust went, before a single frame was even shot. On set, their collaboration wasn't quiet. It wasn't cute. Cameron would yell, Weaver would fight back. But neither cracked, because the performance, the story, was worth bleeding for.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Cameron later said, "She wasn't just acting, she was Ripley. I just had to keep up." Weaver gave Cameron something no one else could: gravity with vulnerability, rage with grace. She didn't play Ripley, she weaponized her. Other actors might need dialogue. Weaver could carry an entire scene with a look, a breath, a pause before the trigger's pulled. Their chemistry wasn't warm, it was forged in fire. Cameron didn't want ease, he wanted truth. And Weaver delivered it through clenched teeth and blistered hands. That's why he built the film around her. Not because she was a star, because she made the film matter. This wasn't science fiction anymore, It was survival, and together they changed the genre forever. Number 3. Kate Winslet. Some actors bring elegance. Kate Winslet brought steel. When James Cameron cast her in Titanic, people questioned it. She wasn't a blockbuster name, she wasn't anyone's idea of a 90s megastar, but Cameron wasn't chasing flash, he was hunting soul. Winslet once said, "He pushes you to the edge, and then he watches to see if you fly." From day one, the shoot was brutal. Freezing water, 12-hour days, constant reshoots. Winslet got sick. She cracked a bone. She almost drowned, but she never quit, and Cameron never asked her to, because he didn't need her to pretend to suffer. He needed her to live it. Cameron later admitted, "Kate showed up with no ego and more grit than half the crew. It wasn't just endurance, it was presence. The entire film turns on her performance. She grounds it, humanizes it. While the effects dazzle, it's Winslet's eyes that keep the story real." And off camera, she challenged him, fought with him, refused to be another pretty face in a disaster movie. She wasn't intimidated by Cameron's intensity. She matched it, frame for frame. Most directors cast actresses to fill space. Cameron cast Winslet to carry the weight, not just of the romance, but of history, grief, survival. They didn't always get along, but that friction built something timeless. She wasn't Cameron's muse, she was his anchor. Number 4. Leonardo DiCaprio. Some collaborations feel inevitable. This one nearly didn't happen. When James Cameron cast Titanic, studio heads wanted a big name. Cameron wanted DiCaprio. But when Leo showed up to the audition, he refused to read, just flat out said no. Cameron's response? "Oh, he's about to read, or he's not getting the part." So Leo read, and within minutes, everything shifted. Because Cameron didn't see a teen idol. He saw someone who could carry the weight of tragedy on his shoulders. Someone who could play charm and death, rebellion and heartbreak.
Don't do it.
Stay back! Don't come any closer!
On set, they clashed. Not dramatically, but artistically. Cameron pushed, Leo pushed back. He wanted more freedom, more looseness. Cameron wanted precision. Every frame mattered. But here's the twist. Cameron didn't mind the fight. He wanted it. He later said, "Leo brings resistance. That's where the power is. He doesn't submit. He shapes." DiCaprio didn't just elevate the part. He redefined the film. Jack Dawson wasn't written as iconic. Leo made him that. With posture, with stillness, with a smile that meant everything and nothing. And when the fame hit, when Titanic turned into a cultural earthquake, Leo disappeared. No talk shows, no posturing, just vanished into the next role. Cameron respected that. He understood it, because both of them know the work is bigger than the noise. They've only worked together once, but it was enough. Because sometimes one collaboration changes the trajectory of two careers, and you never need to repeat it. Not when the first time rewrote cinematic history. Number 5. Linda Hamilton. James Cameron doesn't do nostalgia. He doesn't bring actors back just because the fans want it. If they return, it's because the story demands it. And no one proves that more than Linda Hamilton. Her first appearance as Sarah Connor in The Terminator was strong, but by Terminator 2, she transformed. Not just physically, but psychologically. She wasn't a scream queen, she was a soldier, a prophecy, a mother holding the future hostage.
Don't move! Drop the shit!
Do it! Do it!
Get in the office.
Cameron said. Linda didn't play tough, she became tough. To get there, Hamilton trained for months. Weapons, weights, combat drills. Not because the studio asked, but because she knew what Cameron needed. The woman on the page wasn't written as likable. She was damaged, angry, unhinged. And Linda didn't pull back from that. She leaned in, hard. On set, their relationship was complex. Director and actor, then partners, then exes. But the work never flinched. Even when the personal lines blurred, Cameron trusted her to deliver. Every time. In fact, when they reunited for Dark Fate, Cameron didn't hesitate. Even after 28 years. Even with other options. Because, as he said in one interview, there is no Terminator story without Linda. She wasn't just cast, she was the soul of the franchise, and she didn't chase legacy. She built it, brick by brick, frame by frame. Some actors play heroes. Linda Hamilton trained to survive them. That's the difference, and Cameron never forgot it. Number 6. Zoe Saldaña. When James Cameron came back to filmmaking after over a decade, he didn't just want technology, he wanted truth, and Zoe Saldaña gave him both. Avatar wasn't an easy set. It wasn't a set at all. It was blue screens, motion capture suits, and cameras tracking every blink. Most actors got lost in it. Zoe didn't. Cameron said she was the emotional anchor in a digital ocean. To play Neytiri, she had to relearn movement, rework voice, build a culture that didn't exist, and make it feel ancient. She trained in archery, horseback riding, dialect. But it wasn't the action that mattered. It was the stillness, the fury, the grief.
This is not a squad. It is a family.
Cameron watched her perform a breakdown scene, barefoot, face painted, sensors on her skin, and he knew. He had his center. She wasn't acting through the effects, she was transcending them. He once said in a panel, Zoe could do Shakespeare underwater and still hit the mark. They worked together on not one, but multiple Avatar sequels. And between filming, she didn't just disappear. She studied the mythology, gave notes, became fluent in Na'vi, literally. Cameron doesn't praise lightly, but when he does, it's absolute. He called her one of the most disciplined and emotionally fearless performers he'd ever worked with, because for all the tech, all the visuals, all the billion-dollar spectacle, Avatar would have sunk without Zoe. And Cameron knew it. There's a reason James Cameron keeps raising the bar. It's not just the cameras or the effects or the budgets. It's the people, the ones who bleed for the role, who train for months, cry on cue, and stay when others walk. From the quiet intensity of Gary Oldman to the raw power of Zoe Saldaña, Cameron's favorite actors don't just perform. They elevate. They make impossible worlds feel real. He doesn't choose stars, he chooses warriors, collaborators, people who carry weight, on and off screen. And if you made it this far, you already know, these stories go deeper than credits and awards. They leave a mark. Like the video, hit that subscribe button, and drop your favorite Cameron performance in the comments. We're just getting started.